We don't need everyone to refer. Like, we just need maybe 10% of people, even 5% will really bring us a good, steady kind of, batch of leads. We try to say that we really believe every business in the world should have a referral program because referrals help the best companies. They don't help the dodgy ones. You cannot buy another marketing channel that will bring you more trust than a referral. I wouldn't say there's like a hard limit, but I would say that our data directly shows that the bigger the reward, the more active people are. The more they speak about you online, every time that's a mention, like LLMs. So the benefit of it is just like huge.
Kirsty, with Referral Factory, any entrepreneurial endeavor comes from identifying a key problem and then creating a unique solution. Tell me about how Referral Factory came into being.
Cool. So Referral Factory, it came about as I had, previously, was this maybe like 5, 6 years ago? I actually can't remember, might be longer, but that might give away my age. I co-founded an influencer marketing platform in Africa. It's still actually the largest influencer marketing platform in Africa. And I had exited that company and moved over to Europe and started like, what am I going to do next? Couldn't figure it out. Like, knew probably a job wasn't going to be for me, but I didn't know like what to build or how it would work. And so I started consulting and I worked for 3 or 4 startups, actually like 2 or 3 bigger brands. And I was like consulting between all of them. And they all had the age-old problem we all have in business, which is like we need to get new customers. I mean, I don't know any businesses that don't want that. So they wanted to get new customers. And essentially they were like saying, Kirsty, can you help us do this? And I was saying to them, and many of these businesses, by the way, they were like apps or they were like softwares or they were like, they already had a base. Like they already had a base of like 5,000 or 10,000 of like people that already existed that were already paying the money. And I just thought like, okay, well, obviously I didn't invent referrals. We look at PayPal, I think, and we look at Dropbox. And I would say PayPal is probably the most widespread example of referrals, like that when they first launched PayPal, it was like refer a friend and they'll get $1 and you get $1 and they almost went bankrupt. It went so viral. Like, but same with me. Like, I just knew these companies were like good brands, good products, and they already had a large base of people. And like, why don't we just ask those people to refer? Like if just 10% of those people refer 1 friend each, that would have already been huge. So I kind of did the maths and realized like, we don't need everyone to refer. Like we just need maybe 10% of people, even 5% will really bring us a good, steady kind of, batch of leads. And then I kind of thought, okay, well, like PayPal did it, Dropbox did it. How did they do it? Like, and that's when the journey led me to like, cool, I want to build referral programs for these companies. I want them to be able to ask their customers to refer and issue rewards. And surely there's like a tool for this, like there'll be something that exists. And generally I, looked across the board. I found a series of tools that all did like this thing that I wanted and that thing I wanted. I just didn't really find anything that was like out of the box, like really plug and play, like quick setup, not very technical. And because it was like an experiment for these businesses, I didn't want to spend 2 months setting up a referral program. At that point, I wasn't sure this was going to work. It was a hunch, But anyway, so actually for all these businesses, ended up custom building something and managing all the referrals of spreadsheets and paying out manual rewards. And that was really terrible. I think that's what motivated me to build Referral Factory because these referral programs worked so well that I was sitting up till 2 a.m, like this person referred this person and like trying to track it. And then, okay, cool, you have to pay this reward tomorrow. And this guy's messaging, he didn't get a reward. And that helped me realize, okay, there's a gap here because this works really well in the sense of these companies are like now have the steady flow of leads just coming every day that wasn't coming. But like my life is terrible because I have to manage these referral programs. And I just thought like, if we can make this really easy for businesses, it's such a great channel for them to use. Really, like a lot of businesses don't have an extra marketer who can just will work until 2 a.m, like manually managing hundreds of referrals. So I knew like it needed to be easy, it needed to be quick, and it needed to be affordable. Like you could get started for $100 or something. And like, and essentially that's what we try to build at Referral Factory. We try to say that we really believe every business in the world should have a referral program. And it just doesn't make sense to not have one. It's like, for me, I can't understand why you wouldn't have one. And we knew that the only way for that to happen was if we made it like really easy, really affordable. And like we helped people like get to the point where they got their first referral really fast. And then we knew they would be customers for life. Essentially that was just my journey. It was like, I had to get a bunch of new customers for my own clients. I tried a new method. It worked, but very painfully. And then I
Yeah.
decided, in future, if people want to do this, we need a simple solution. And I started building Referral Factory.
Man, I love that
Yeah.
because it's very real to you, but you went through the challenge of like, I can do this, but man, there's got to be an easier way. And I feel
Yeah.
like, we deal with a lot of agencies at Digital Web Solutions, and they all have the same problem that you mentioned is like, we all need more clients, we all need more customers. Customer
Yeah.
acquisition costs along with ad costs are just skyrocketing, and
Mm.
we're looking for different ways. Yes, everybody knows that referrals are important, but there's not really what I've seen. Many agencies don't have a specific process. It's just like, oh man, when we have a low month, let's run a
Let's ask
referral
for
campaign.
referrals. Like, exactly. Like when we have a low month, we'll just ask for referrals. And
Yeah.
I'm like, why
Yeah.
would you not? Like, there's an automated way you can put a widget in your product and you can ask every single person who logs in for a referral. Why would you not do that? Like, it's
Yes.
a question I
Yes.
ask every day.
Yes. So tell me about, okay, in a customer journey, because obviously you work with a lot of SaaS, in the terms of agency, we have different points of like, let's say aha moments or activations. We'll have like
Yeah.
onboarding, and we might even ask for referrals like at the end of onboarding, like, hey, was this experience good? Who else do you know? And then like
Yeah.
an aha moment, like where we do our first report and they see their website traffic grow. Great moment to ask for a referral. Is it
Yeah.
is there a tipping point where asking your current clientele for referrals is too much, or should we just be doing this like all the time?
No, I honestly think like, it's like one of these things you always think when you think like, I don't know, as a human, you'll worry like, oh, I did something embarrassing and like everybody is thinking about me, but they're not
Mm,
in reality.
mm.
Like they don't care.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think referrals is the same. We feel like we can't ask again because like we asked last month, but they don't really care. Like for them, for the person who gets the email, it's like, oh yeah, I got that. Like not for me next. Like they
yeah,
just skip it. Like
yeah.
it's not a thing for the end customer. It's a thing for us because we feel like we asked last month, should we ask again? But I also think to think about it is like how you ask is important. So I think
Mm,
basically like, phoning them and asking them every month might be too much. But if, for example, you've got a logged in platform where your customers like log into, you could like have a
mhm,
banner in there. You could also like put a note on your invoices or something that reminds them there. I think like
mm.
it's like subtle touch points everywhere that does the job more than like phoning every month, if that makes sense. So I would say
Yeah,
I don't really ever worry about like asking too much because you're not
mhm,
forcing, you're asking. There's a difference. It
yeah,
doesn't, if someone wants to skip, they can.
mhm,
And then also maybe think about the way that you ask because you can ask in multiple ways. Like you could have if you have a retail store, you could have a poster with a QR code that says scan to refer and earn $100 or something like that. And like, that it's not invasive in any way. If you
mhm,
have a banner inside your SaaS, it's not invasive. It's there. If they see it, they can refer and they skip it if they don't want to.
mhm. But then you're also sending out like timed notifications to,
Totally.
on top of
Yeah.
those,
So
right?
we kind of have like time notifications. And I would say that like our standard interval reminder on Referral Factory is like 1 month, like send a reminder every month to ask for referrals. And we find that generally gets a lot of performance. Some people do it like even every 2 weeks. For us, that's a bit much. But I would say like an email once a month to ask for a referral. It's weird. Like this is a question that I've had from our clients, like asking about it. But then I'll say to them, like, did anyone ever complain? Like, what made you think of this? Like, did someone unsubscribe? And they're like,
Mm,
no, I just thought of it, if that makes sense.
yeah.
But I've never really heard it being an issue from the end users.
Does the niche, I mean, how does the niche impact the results that you can get from referrals like this? I mean, are we talking like high ticket, packages like $5,000 or more? Hey, refer a client to us. Like, does it make an impact if it's a free app to use and you're referring your clients? I
Yeah.
want to get into like how you calculate the rewards because I know Referral Factory has that kind of ingrained, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious if the niche impacts.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say like, if we want to talk about like niches, I would actually say that maybe a better use of information for everyone is like less than the size of the product is more than the like industry. So we
Mm,
obviously see thousands of referral programs and that gives us unique insight into the specific industries that this works better in.
mhm,
And it does works better in some industries than others. Like industries it works, or we say like niches, like it works particularly well, like banking, finance,
mhm,
anything to do with money and trust. Like
mm,
money is a very important thing. Investments are a very important thing. Finance is a very important thing. you cannot buy another marketing channel that will bring you more trust than a referral. So
Hmm.
exceptionally well in like banking, etc., that niche. Other niches, education works very, very well as well, because very
Hmm.
much like if I'm doing a course and I'm studying a new like coding language, chances are like I have a friend that also codes. It's like very rare that you wouldn't know someone.
True.
Education works really, really well. Another area we see it work like incredibly well is like med spas, like medical aesthetics,
Mm.
healthcare, for example. Like that
Yeah.
industry is quite good. I also think SaaS,
Hmm.
but that's just like a natural kind of industry for us. I'm just trying to see what else do I have on here. Yeah, fitness and wellness is another one that's also really like a big one.
Hmm.
And then another one that is like a big niche that this works very well in, but I was very surprised, was like energy and utilities. So a big batch
Oh,
of customers,
really?
we have like broadband. And you know what it is? It's basically that like they often work in networks in an area. So often, like if
Okay.
you have broadband in your house and like everyone on the street has the same broadband, like your internet is better. And like, so yeah, broadband utilities like EV charging, like these sorts of things have been a totally shock to us. We never
Yeah.
targeted those industries, and it worked like really well. Like for refer someone, like energy. It just earlier today I had a call with the largest like energy company in Netherlands, and like
Mm.
yeah, it's just so I never expected that, but it came up. And then also another niche that it works quite well in is contractors, like anything to do with home renovation,
Mm.
solar, like people. If I'm going to get someone to do my floors, I would really rather use someone that someone else has used before than like
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
I think this kind of stems to a really hot topic at the moment, which is like just the level of trust is going down online. And I think like people don't trust as much when they Google and they see a result. They now know like that can be, basically the first page of Google is all manipulated. Can we just be
Yeah.
honest about that? Like if you're
Yep.
in marketing, like this,
Yep.
like nothing on the first page is there because it's an accident. It's there because
Yeah.
someone wants you to read something, which is like very okay. But I think people are starting to realize that. And I think what that's meaning is they're really looking for trusted sources.
Hmm.
But I would say that like niches based on industry makes like a far more difference to success or not. I would say that in terms of like niches like package sizes, I would say the only obviously like where it does very well, like our companies that use us that are solar panel, they sell and install solar panels, they all do
Yes.
really well because their package sizes, they're selling deals like 20, 30, $40,000. Like they can give $1,000 award. That's a huge motivator. I'm telling all my neighbors, if you can give me a
Yeah.
thousand
Yeah.
dollars if I refer someone. But a place where it's a little bit harder to do referrals is in like really cheap products because your
Mm.
margin often like isn't big enough to give a meaningful reward. So
Hmm.
sometimes where it's difficult is, product that's $4.99 or something like that. It's like you can say like, okay, cool. If you refer a friend, I give you $1. The unit economics are just a little bit more difficult to make work. Uh,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't mean it doesn't work. You can maybe come up with a creative incentive or something unique and it can work, but it maybe just
Yes.
doesn't work as easily as it is when you can pay someone $1,000 for a referral.
100%. And I'm glad you brought up solar because that's the industry that I was in before I moved into SEO and marketing. I
Oh, yeah.
was leading solar teams for 3 years in Arizona, California, Texas, South Carolina. So I've been all over the
Okay, cool.
US and I know that the package sizes are big. We had someone from one of the massive solar companies that I think is still in business, and she was kind of in charge of their sort of referral department. And she gave us this study, and I want to get your thoughts on it. But she said, we've tried all sorts of different monetary values in order for, to give referral rewards. And we found that after $250, the increase in the amount of referrals sent did not increase. So I
Yeah,
wonder if there's,
I
if
would
there's a
disagree with
limit.
that.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I would
Yeah, if there's a
disagree with
limit
that.
to the financial incentives.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't say there's like a hard limit, but I
Yeah.
would say that our data directly shows that the bigger the reward, the
Mm.
more active people are. And I can say this because we have, I don't know now, but we probably have like 30, 40 clients just in solar,
Mm.
like just in solar in US, like so even other countries. So we
Yeah.
can see the difference between their campaigns. I obviously can't share with you their specific data and their names, etc. But we can see with their campaigns, like this one has a reward of say like 200 and then 400 and then like the best one has a reward of 1,000. I'll tell you that much. And the worst one has a
Interesting.
reward of like 200. It's quite simple
Interesting.
actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like money
Huh.
talks, like it does talk. Like I can't say it as a rule of thumb. It doesn't mean you would get no referrals. But what I'm saying is, in an industry where you can offer a large reward, like,
Mhm.
and often, if I'm being really honest, like, you were in solar and now you're in marketing. So you now know that, like, often a solar company is paying $2,000 for a like converted lead anyway. They often are paying,
All day.
maybe it's like $1,000 for a lead. Yeah, I don't know what the price is, but trust me, they're not
Yeah.
paying $100 a lead.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my thinking is like, if you want your referral program to work, but just be generous. Like, you were going to pay that money to Facebook and Google anyway. Take, minus 20% of it and give it to your customer. Do you know how happy that customer is going to be a customer for life? You're going to give them a
Yeah.
reward. They're going to walk out in the streets and they're going to tell everyone else in the street to buy your solars. It's
Yes.
a much better use of the money. Don't be cheap.
Yeah, yeah. And they'll also probably leave a review and continue to do that.
Exactly.
Whereas, an ad you have to keep paying month after month. And like you
Yeah,
said, it doesn't have
every
the
time, like,
same
now they've got
trust.
a referral and then they've left a review and, like,
Yeah.
the more they speak about you online, every time that's a mention, like, LLMs. So the benefit of it is just, like, huge. Like, don't be cheap. Don't be cheap.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it also brings into the customer experience. So I'm a referrer. Like if I like something, I will tell all my friends about it. And one of
Yeah.
the things I refer all the time is this Whoop. Even though I
Yeah?
have a referral code, the reason I use a referral code is because it's easy to send. It's not because like I want a free month or whatever. Like I
Yeah.
don't even care about it. It's just that
Yeah,
I've
yeah, yeah.
had such a good experience and it's impacted my life in such a positive way. I want to share that with other people so they can experience it too. I think that's the
Yeah.
core of a good referral program is you have to be really good in your delivery and the client experience.
I would say that, like, it's really interesting because you would say to us, like, Referral Factory. Okay, so we literally, like, all our software does is help people, like, build, manage, and run referral programs. And, like, why would you have churn? Like, you have churn for specific reasons.
Yeah.
But we have a category of churn, which is just because people don't actually want to refer those businesses. And there's not much I can do about that. Like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
businesses that, like, don't really treat their customers particularly well. Like, actually, often if you go online and you Google that company, you see a host of negative reviews. And then they come to us and usually those are also the companies that are like, cool, we want like 1 million referrals. Could you just get those for us? And I was like, I don't know what, like, no, can't get you 1 million
Yeah.
referrals. But also, like, in order for me to get referrals, like, you're going to use our software, but it's going to ask your customers to refer you. And, like, well, if you don't treat them well, I don't think they're going to. There's definitely an
Mhm.
element, Austin, of, like, basically, like, good service, good product, like, delivering value. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting because when I first got into this industry, it was really like, I really think about it less now, but I maybe should think about it more, which is, do you know that that's the thing I was so excited about? I was
Tell
like,
me.
you know why I like referrals? Because referrals help the best companies. They don't help
Ah,
the dodgy
nice.
ones. And
Yeah.
marketing over the years, like, you also in this industry, and like, we've got snake oil salesmen and we've got people selling bad things to brands and we've got people ripping brands off. And it's not good for us. It's not good for the industry. But, like, so I really wanted to, like, do something that could help, like, the best man win, if that makes sense. And be like,
Yeah.
cool, you treat your customers really well. You work really hard to build a good product. Like, you're obsessed with, like, delivering value. And, like,
Mhm.
because of that, your customers will now refer you, if that makes sense. It's like I get to help the people who try the hardest. And,
Yeah.
like, nothing
Yeah.
gives me more joy than that, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
you
100%.
generally find, like, companies where you have, like, passionate people working with them that care about their employee, like their employees, they care about their stock, like their customers, and they actually care that, like, someone paid for something and they got value for it in return. They actually care about that exchange. Those
Yeah.
companies never have a problem getting referrals. Like,
Mm.
never. They can
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
referrals. It's the ones that are like, oh, like, like, actually they email everyone to ask for referrals and they get a bunch of people swearing at them in return.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to say to them, like, cool, maybe you need to, like, first sort out some things internally and, like, fix your
Mm.
client service, and then afterwards come and chat to us and we can see if we can help you again. But
Mm.
yeah, I like being able to help the companies that, like, um have done the work and
Yeah.
do the hard things, because, like, it's easy to, like, just do the bare minimum. It's hard to go above and beyond for your customers. And, like,
Yeah.
I like being able to help those companies because I think they deserve to win.
Of course, especially now when everything is more commoditized and
Yeah.
likely the companies that come to you and say, "Hey, we want to work with Referral Factory for this new program," they probably already have some sort of referral mechanism in
Yeah,
place, but it's maybe a little bit clunky, a little bit hard to do manual, right? And so they
exactly.
just want to add a software on
Yeah.
top of it to make it easier, and then you can just compound their success.
Exactly. And most of the times they've like run a manual trial and they had
Yeah.
success and they
Yeah.
want to do it more, but they don't know how.
Mhm.
But generally, yeah, that is like a lot of customers come to us. They have a spreadsheet and like they're doing something kind of manually, or they've like tested it, or
Mm.
yeah, or I guess in other cases they've like another way we also get customers, which is quite an interesting one, is like they see the referral program of their competitor, and
Yeah.
then they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
What a
what's
great way
that?"
to motivate. Yeah,
That's a
definitely.
great way to motivate. Yeah,
Yeah, can't let them get away with it. You
yeah,
brought up money talks, which I completely agree. For someone, maybe their agency is running a little bit on thinner margins and they
yeah.
want to incentivize the people that they work with. What other creative ways have you seen work well, if not financial incentives?
Perfect. So this is a really good question. And like I would say like money talks in general, but it doesn't mean we haven't seen the campaigns that have done well. And usually
Hmm.
exactly this. This is like creative people. They've come up with something like genius, for example. And so usually where we see that work really well is actually where they come up with a creative offer for the person being referred. So we like let's just say we have like referrers and then leads. So referrer, like I'm a referrer, I send you my link, you sign up, like you're a lead and I'm the referrer in this case. Normally, where we see campaigns do quite well that don't have a lot of budget is they have a really interesting incentive for the person invited. Let me like say, like you're a marketing agency. You might say that like, and like, I don't know, you guys, you do podcasts and you do all these things. So maybe you have a founder and he's reputable and he's got 100K followers on Twitter. I don't know. I'm just saying you could say if you refer someone, like their intro call and like strategy would be done by our founder or something like that. So it's not a good example, but I'm trying to show you like people are often actually really motivated, like in two ways. Like one, I'll get a reward, but two, which often is like actually a higher motivation, is I get to do something cool for my friend. And like what you saying, or I get to look good in front of my network because I offered them. So you saying like, I love this experience with Whoop so much that I
Yeah.
want my friends to experience it. And
Mm.
like, exactly that. So like, that's kind of what I think is if you, sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. I got distracted. You were looking at me.
Yeah, not non-financial, yeah, non-monetary
No,
ways to
non-financial. So
motivate people. Yeah.
exactly, like something creative. Like I would refer my friend, and because my friend gets a 20% discount when they sign up. So often you maybe can't give like money, but you could give
Mhm.
time or you could give a discount on a future invoice. So
Hmm.
if I said to you, cool, Austin, like give me 5 names of your friends, or like you can message 5 of your friends and tell them that they can get 10% off their like, Whoop subscription for the next year. Like
Uh-huh.
you wouldn't even care what your reward is because you're like, cool, like I get to like
Yeah.
give this to my friend. And
Yeah.
I think that's again like quite cool because first of all, it shows us actually, I know the world, we go on Twitter and we worry about the world and all of the stuff, but actually I think humans are pretty good people by nature because in most cases we actually are more motivated by giving something to someone else than we are by getting something. And like,
Mhm.
that's always a reminder for me that like, the world is a better place than you might read about it online. Like actually
Yeah.
people and humans are quite good. But I would say if you don't have a monetary incentive, like the best thing to do is sorry, if you can't offer a big monetary reward, the best thing to do is think of a really creative incentive, like maybe something they can't get or like if yeah, and I think we have what do we have at Referral Factory? I think it's a discount. So like if you refer someone, they get their first month free. So like
Nice.
you don't have to pay for your first month of Referral Factory then. And we almost make it out like, join us for a month, like, on Austin or something. Like Austin's like
Yeah,
paid for
yeah.
your month, basically. And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
like if you think about it, if I said to you now with the program we have at Referral Factory, any one of your friends or people in your network, like, cool, like I'll give them a month for free and I'll do their onboarding. And I like am the founder, I don't think there's anyone who has more experience in referral marketing than me.
Right.
Like I've worked with thousands of brands, so they'll get incredible value and they'll get their first month free. But then
Mm.
also if they sign up, I'll also give you 40% of the revenue they bring to me. So it's like
Boom.
you like double whammy.
Boom.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing I would say. So think double sided. And it's okay if you don't have a high value reward, but then just think about the psychology of it and think about
Mhm.
how you can motivate that person to look good in front of their friend. Because like we are good humans. We want to tell our friends and we want to help them. We want to help them grow their companies and we want to save them money.
Yeah.
So try and leverage that is what I would say is like maybe then if you don't have a high monetary reward, don't worry so much about the that and then focus rather on the incentive that gets goes to the friend or the business that you're referring.
Yeah. I love that. And getting creative with other things outside of money, like time or social status, like you mentioned, I think is a big one.
Yeah.
There's another app that I use, and I will get uncomfortable every time I use it because it's such a good reward program for me. It's an app
Okay.
called In Kind, not affiliated in any way. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's just the US or if
Yeah.
it's in Europe
I don't
too.
know. No.
So restaurants will have a POS system. Like Europe is years ahead than the US. In the US, we just got these POS systems where the
Oh.
server will come around, take your order, and then you can tap to pay on the little terminal.
Oh,
And
cool.
that terminal, a specific brand has this app called InKind where you can pay the bill through the app. And with each bill that you pay, you get 20% back in the app to then use at the next restaurant that you go to. So it's like a
Okay, cool.
cash back system. I don't know
Yeah.
how it works. I don't know how it's profitable, but
Yeah. I was going to say,
the
how are they
reason
making money?
I have no clue. And then I haven't done enough chat GPT research to find out, but maybe I'll do that today. But the the referral program that they have is with every new person you bring on, the next time that they spend $50, they get $25 off and you get $50 in your bank account for referring them or in the credit account. So again,
Okay.
I don't know how I don't know
Yeah.
how they're profitable, but every time we go out to a restaurant that uses the app, I will I interrupt somebody else's meal and say, "Hey, how are you guys paying for this? Can I give you $25?" And every time I'm seriously, I have
They love
hundreds
it.
of
Yeah.
dollars in my account from doing that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's crazy. Yeah. But that's really cool. I mean, they might just be, like kind of overpaying to get customers or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah. And you see how also like you have a reason. Don't you find it also it's a silly psychology thing, but I actually don't feel comfortable selling something for a business, but I feel very comfortable giving something for a business. And it's very
Oh yeah.
difficult to me to say, I mean, we just go back to the solar example. Oh, hey, have you considered using solar? You could save money. I'm not a salesperson for solar. I don't know how to do
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
I could say to them, hey, I got the solar installed. Like, we were really happy with it. Like, we also, got our first bill and then, like, it's lower. So, but just so you know, if you do want solar in the future, you'll get 20% off. I can get you 20% off, like, so
Boom.
just let me know.
Yeah.
Like that, it's so much easier to introduce it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Walk me through the math it takes when you are thinking about financial incentives. Are you considering LTV? Like what other metrics are you considering when you're factoring in how much we should give for our customer
Yeah.
acquisition through referrals?
So I would say the model I like to use and the model I think is the safest to use is to look at LTV.
Sure.
Something I have learned is that most
Lifetime value.
businesses don't know what their lifetime value is.
Mhm.
Like it's way more common. Like of all the customers we have a demo, we used to ask all of them to say like they would ask us this question, how do I calculate the value of my reward? And we would say like, what's the lifetime value of their customer? And we
Mm.
found most people don't know.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, most people don't know. So we don't really use lifetime value anymore. Not that I don't think it's a good metric to use. It's probably the most exact metric to use is to take a
Sure.
lifetime value of a customer and pay a percentage of that. But what we now say, just to make things easier for every business who maybe doesn't have it all figured out yet, is really, really simply, what's your current cost per acquisition on your paid channel? Like, cool,
Mm.
what's that? Cool, make that your reward value. like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you want to
Yeah.
save money, take 20% off and make that your reward value. Then you're saving money. If you
Yeah.
want to, like, I would say just keep it the same because
Yeah.
I feel the value you get for that money by giving it to a paying customer. Because then what you do is you say, cool, you know what, Austin, thank you so much for referring a customer to us. Like, we're going to give you this reward. And say it's
Mhm.
$200 or $1,000 because that's what my acquisition is. You're going to say, man, like, thank you. It's incredible. Then I'm going to say, Austin, could you leave me a review while you're at it? So it's
Mm.
like my referral payment now also turned into a review because I just wasn't cheap and I did the right thing. But like
Yeah.
generally we say, and I know that it's not a very complex formula and like we want to think about the perfect maths on this. But what I
Mhm.
actually realized is that in most cases, like most marketing companies like have an acquisition cost because they're spending already and they're comfortable
Yes.
with that acquisition cost, or they maybe want it to be lower, want it to be less. And I'll say to them, cool, I'll give you two options. One, give that exact amount to the referrer. They'll be so happy. And then after
Yeah.
they're happy, say, can I also have a review? And then that way you're
Mm.
getting more value for that money. Or do you want it to be cheaper? Cool. Just minus 20% and make the reward that value. And something I also think about like with SaaS, if it's a SaaS
Mhm.
company and it's a subscription model, is like just give the first month's revenue as a reward. So just to make it like not complicated is like refer a friend to this business, and then the reward can just be whatever they pay. Like, so say your cost is $100 a month, then you just say like refer a business and we'll pay you $100 per reward. And all you're doing is taking the first month revenue, giving it away. And then I think it's okay. It's your job as a business to keep that customer. If you can't keep them, if you lose all those customers in the first month, I think you have bigger problems. Like it's not, you should be able to keep the majority of them for more than a month.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an easier way. I know it's not a hugely like intelligent formula, but like it works and it helps people get up and running fast.
Yeah. I love that. I'm going to see if I can ask for your consulting for the audience right now on this podcast. So with agencies, we have variable, we have monthly budgets. Like if I have a client who's currently spending $5,000 a month with us on SEO, and I want them to refer another client, the client that they refer to us may only spend $2,000. And 3 months down the road, that client might upgrade to a $10,000 a month, sort of a thing. But in agencies, we're always looking for recurring revenue. How do you have the rewards for one-time purchases versus recurring?
So we offer both. We offer one-time rewards and recurring rewards. You can get both with Referral Factory out of the box, fully automated. Basically, what you can do is say, so our referral program works that way, by the way. I mean, also, assuming as I know you now a power referrer, I'm definitely going to talk to you about our referral program because we pay 40% of the revenue for 12 months. So it's a commission-based, and basically you make a referral to us, like every cent they spend with us for the next 12 months, I would pay you 40% of, which is quite big, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
So that's quite a big amount. And I would say that, if we just offer both. So if you are referring someone to a subscription or something like that, yes, commission-based can work. Mm-hmm. But I would say the one kind of problem with commission is that really actually came out because of affiliates. Found like affiliates or like influencers. And we would say like, can you do this? For every customer you'll give us, we'll pay you $200. And then they soon learned that the $200 was a very small portion of the total money. So they were like, we want commission. But I would find that like affiliates were a bit more business savvy and they're doing this as a business interest. Mm-hmm. Although I love the like refer someone and you'll get 40% of their revenue. Like for just day-to-day people, just standard referrals, like they often don't know what other people spend. Like, it does make it a little bit more complicated for them, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But I would say, if you were, for example, trying to get someone to like make referrals, if you had like a high, let's say a high ticket agency, or you have like minimum spend or whatever, then a commission makes sense because you specifically want to motivate them to refer someone who spends a large amount.
Yeah.
You want to desensitize, like is desensitize. I can't the word. You want them to not be motivated.
Dissuade.
You demotivated them to refer someone who's like not going to spend, and you actually want them to sit and think about it and say like, who could I refer that like would be a good fit? In that case, commission does really well. So again, like it's not, and maybe for agencies that really helps. Like if you sent out a mail and you wanted to say like, cool, we're doing and you could just try this. Like we're doing a once-off referral program where anyone you refer in this month, we will pay you like, 30% of all the revenue we earn from them. Like, and then I do find what you often have to put in is like just like on average, people earn between X and X, because I often find like brands forget that people don't know. Like, I know what I spend, with a business, but like they don't actually know what everyone else spends.
Yes.
It's helpful in that case when you're talking about commission values, like I'll refer you and you'll get 20%. That you just help them in the copy or the communication understand what that is. Like, an average customer spends $6,000 a year or something, then they can understand, okay, 30% of that, I got it. But when you do commission, I would say just make sure you communicate like what an average spend is so that they have an understanding of that. But I would say, commission work really well. Also like fundraising is another place it works really well. People with money know people with money and often like to talk about their deals or their investments.
How much they've given and...
works quite well.
That's fascinating. Yeah, because of the recurring one, let's say it's a percentage of monthly spend. All right, so I got it. When I'm sending this out, I share like, what an average client spend is. Great. What about lifetime referral incentives? I mean, I am of the mindset to cap it at 12 months max, but I'm curious to hear what you say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who am I talking on behalf of? I think this depends who I'm defending. I feel like a lawyer now.
Hmm.
I want my customers to get the most amount of value, and
Yeah.
that's why I tell them to cap it at 12 months, because I
Hmm.
know that like that's still a great deal for the end
Oh
affiliate or
yeah.
the end referrer, and like they'll do it for that.
Hmm.
You probably don't have to offer a lifetime. They'll do it for 12 months. Like they'll do
Yeah.
it on a 12-month deal. And I
100%.
always say to them, like, offer a 12-month deal. Like, if that doesn't work, we could look at like lifetime. But again, like this just depends. So like if I was defending the end users here who were the referrers, I would say, yes, we want lifetime deals. But
Yeah.
because I want my customers, who are the customers that pay Referral Factory money, like I want them to make the most amount of money and I want them to have successful businesses because like that's why they came to us.
Yeah.
In that case, I feel like it's my job to advise them to keep as much money as possible.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say like it doesn't work, or I don't want to say it won't be a motivation. I just say, I work for my customers, and in their case, I would not recommend that they do it because I don't really think it's necessary.
Hmm.
You're just giving free money away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it doesn't mean it won't work as a concept. It just means I would try and advise my customers to keep the money in their bank.
Exactly. And there's a balance, right? If you know that a service is $5,000 a month and you say for every person you refer to us, we're going to give you $100. Like that's kind of a smack in the face, but if you
It's a
say
smack
like,
in
"Hey,
the
we're going to give
face.
you
Yeah.
the first month's revenue," it's like, "Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
going to get
And remember, you
$5,000?"
you can also like de-risk yourself from this. So you could say, I'll give you the first month revenue, but like if you refer someone
Mhm.
and they stay with us for at least 3 months, we will give
Mhm.
you $5,000. That's a
Hmm.
great deal for you. It's a
Yeah.
guaranteed like 15, and you know what I mean? And it's like if someone then stays for 1 month and they cancel, you're not losing anything then. Like,
Yeah.
and
Right.
that's what I think people don't understand with referral programs is you can't just put these terms and conditions in. Like I have one bank where it's like they're very like a high net worth individual bank, but it's like refer someone and they have to apply to bank with us, then be approved because not everyone can bank.
Mm.
Like then it's like a condition has to be met. Then they have to deposit X amount into their bank account. Then they have to move their salary and at least one direct debit and. But the reward is really big. So,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think often brands think like these conditions, like it's like weird. People just like refer and then they wait. Like often they don't even like worry
Yeah.
about the conditions. Often people make a referral and they don't go even check if that referral converted. They just like, oh, if it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's very okay to have these conditions, and then you can have like very big rewards.
Yeah, I'm that way too. Like I don't have like a central dashboard of all of my, link tree referral codes and like how
Yeah,
much money I've gotten from each. It's not like that. Back to the top of the conversation, I would just rather my friends and family have a good experience like
yeah,
I've experienced. I think those are the
exactly.
best referrers and the best
Best.
products. Back to your original point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, as we wrap up the conversation here, Kirsty, where can we find out more about you and about referral factories? And if somebody wants to use Referral Factory, what are the incentives that you're giving away?
That's a great question, Austin. Okay, so you can find me if you want to chat about referrals or like growing companies. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm Kirsty Sharman on LinkedIn. You can also find me on X. I'm Kirsty Carrot on X because I think Kirsty Sharman was taken, so I'm Kirsty Carrot on X. And then if you want to launch your own referral program and you're thinking this is your year to get referrals, I
Hmm.
would look at like just go to our website, which is referral-factory.com. So we've got a little dash in there, referral-factory.com, or you can just Google Referral Factory and you'll find us. Sneaky tip, because the podcast host is very clever and he's thinking of his customers here and how to save them money, which is if you go to Referral Factory's website, top right, top, there's a button that says resources. If you click on that, there's a course, referral
Mm.
marketing course. Okay. It's not a long course. It maybe will take you 5 minutes and you have to answer some questions. When you complete the course, you get a 50% off lifetime coupon.
Woo!
So there's a hidden
Dang.
coupon on our website, but you have to do the course that I created. And it's actually a course on customer marketing. And it's basically
Mm.
about like referrals, reviews, and retention, and how your customers essentially are this like hidden marketing channel that more brands need to be using. And they need to be thinking about their customers as marketers and how they can use them to bring them more customers. So as I said, it's a short course. It has a 5-question quiz. It's not difficult. I think it's 5 tabs. But it really is and it was written by me as well. And why it's short is I decided like, what do people need to know? And let's just cut everything else out. So it's
Mm,
also, I think, a really insightful course because it actually just has the most important things you need to know. And
mm.
like, it's like the 80-20. It's like the 20% that delivers 80% of the value, just forget about the rest. So I try to keep the course short, sweet, and light. But yeah, if you go do my customer marketing course, which you will find on Referral Factory's website, at the end, there is a sneaky 50% off coupon. And it's a lifetime coupon, I think, as well. So that gets you a lifetime discount. So I'm
Wow,
eating my own
that's
words there.
amazing.
But yeah.
If I were even more clever, I would have talked to you before the episode and said, "Hey, can I get my own referral link for Referral Factory?" And then that's what we'll put in the show notes. We may still do that in case people are lazy and don't want to do the course.
No worries. No worries. Yeah, yeah. It's all good.
That's hilarious.
Cool.
Wow. Well, Kirsty, thank you very much. It was an awesome conversation. I wish we had more referral conversations because, again, like we were talking about, cost of acquisition is going up, ad prices are skyrocketing, organic is being more and more manipulated and therefore saturated and more expensive. If you can nail referrals, I think 2026 is going to be a really good year for you. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for
What
being here.
Austin said. Believe Austin.
Yeah. Let's
Cool.
go. Well, I will connect with you on X and yeah, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, connect me. Nice chatting. Thanks again for having me. Yeah, and hopefully I'll get to chat to you again soon sometime in the future.
That sounds great. Cheers.